Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, well, this one's spoken for. Mitch, thank you for trusting our company, but in general, thewatchbox.com is your hookup for pre-owned luxury watches. Today, we are discussing a significant upgrade of the FP Journe Linesport Centigraphe Sport. This, the 2018 mod CTS2, is the latest evolution of a watch we first saw back in 2007. A quick history lesson. Back in 2007, FP Journe launched the Centigraphe, so named because it could measure intervals as short as 1/100th of a second. For 2008, the watch was accorded the Aiguille d'Or at the Geneva GPHG, the Grand Prix of watchmaking, effectively the Oscars of watchmaking, and the Aiguille d'Or, won by the Centigraphe, was Best Picture. This timepiece is a descendant of the 2011 Centigraphe Sport model that became a titanium model in 2014 and evolved to what you see here in 2018. Now 44 millimeters with a yellow lacquered bright yellow dial, per Journe's own terminology, and a scratch-resistant ceramic bezel. This is a timepiece that has received a bit of a makeover while retaining all of the core mechanical interest and virtuosity in engineering and finish that made the original so lovable. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it's easy to wear. 44 millimeters round, it's shockingly thin at only 10.9 millimeters thick. And though it is 55 millimeters link to link across the case, you can see that the lugs themselves are stubby and the integrated end links of the bracelet curve down sharply, so this is a big watch that's nevertheless not a big bully. It will wear well on small wrists as tiny as 14.5 centimeters circumference. The bracelet's a handsome piece. You can see it features a Delta style link alignment, as well as a dark matte finish. It is grade 5 titanium with a PVD to darken it, and then FP Journe, in a concession to reality, cleverly using rubber bumpers on all of the common contact points of the watch, the links, the outer faces of the links, the sides of the case, as well as the bottom of the clasp body, so you won't scratch and mar that finish. The bracelet itself has plenty of gaps to vent the wrist on a hot day, so it is the quintessential and consummate sports watch bracelet. Plenty of ventilation, no danger of pinching skin, pulling hair. You can see the clasp is a double deployant with, take note, spring-loaded pin snaps to maintain superb tight tolerances, as well as a close closure over time. Invenit et facit. Well, he invented and made it. Normally, that would be a boast, but with Francois-Paul Journe, it's simply a statement of fact. Now, jump into the case. Aside from the fact that it is incredibly elegant and slim in profile, this could be your dress watch if you have the panache to pull off that dial with a suit. The watch also features a handsome array of rubber-coated controls. You have a crown that you actually pull out one detent to wind. That's your winding position, and you pull out two detents to set. Flush to the case, it actually just freewheels and does nothing. So remember, withdraw this crown, that's where the action is. There is a rocker system that actually is protected by a patent. It gives you the simplicity along the case flank of a mono pusher, but it does give you the ability to stop and restart, and you don't get that with a mono pusher. So this is an elegant solution, easy to actuate, that allows you to start and restop. Let's get super close to the dial and appreciate that which FP hath wrought. A lot going on. The dial technically is known as bright yellow. That's it. It feels like the modern day heir to the great Zenith Mango dials of the 1990s, and that's the first thing that comes to mind, but everything else is distinctly Journe. You see the titanium bezel fixing the three dials, and the signature dial side bolts that have become a calling card of FP Journe dial design. You'll also note that the yellow itself features a rich lacquered finish, so it's not simply a galvanized treatment, it is a hand-applied lacquer, and each one of the Arabic numerals is a three-dimensional solid block of superluminova, so it actually has height above the dial in each case. There is a hairline black border to each of the numerals that makes for superb contrast by day as well, as it allows you to easily read the white numeral against the yellow base. All of the dials have been cut away, and by removing the standard Centigraph's tachymeters, you're able to open up these dials and let them breathe, making them easier to read, as well as creating the opportunity for a sapphire viewport that allows you to see into the heart of the mechanism. Foudroyant 1 second dial down to 1/100th of a second red. You have a 20-second dial, and then you have a 10-minute dial. So this is a watch designed to read very fast things that are measured in short intervals, such as plays during professional sporting events. Now you'll see the mechanism that allows that chronograph to read 1/100th of a second. Even though the watch beats 6 times per second, there is a mechanism with a separate escapement that steps up the rate to 100 beats a second to create that 1/100th of a second dial that is the namesake of the watch, Centigraphe. The ceramic bezel allows you to more easily read the minutes outboard, but it also provides a blocker, effectively shielding the case from scratches and scuffs, ceramic being very hard. Turn the watch over, and a lot of folks will say that despite the new lacquered yellow dial, this is really where the fun is. Caliber 1506, 15 being the size of the movement in diameter in French lean, and 06 being the year FP Journe started work on the first Centigraphe, 2006. 50 joules, beats away at 21.6, free sprung for shock resistance, all of the bridges and plates executed in aluminum, helping this watch to mass at well under 80 grams. It's feather light on the wrist. You'll also note that in addition to being free sprung, that is a big high inertia balance, so it uses its sheer size to overcome shocks and vibrations that could cause timing deviation. Now the barrel is at the center, which is a very unusual arrangement for a chronograph. The reason brings us to the second patent applied for and received for this watch, and that barrel drives both the chronograph drivetrain and the time of day. The arbor, or effectively the axle of the barrel, drives the chronograph functions. And the edge of the barrel, you can see its toothed edge underneath the caseback, that's what drives the time of day, with the result that there's no loss of balance amplitude and the watch does not slow down when you engage the chronograph. Manual wind, it has an 80-hour power reserve with the chronograph disengaged, 24 with the chronograph engaged. But remember, this is a watch with a 10-minute dial as its largest register, so you won't need to run it for more than 10 minutes. The finish is high horology. You can see the mirrored chamfering on the edge of the bridges, black polished screw heads with chamfered slots, circular Côte de Genève or waves, like a ripple from the center of a lake when you throw a pebble, and you can see them radiating out across the bridges. A satin finished crown wheel and a tight engine turned perlage across the base plate, all of it immaculately laid. You can even see the column wheel mechanism through the skeletonized bridge. This is as good as it gets. New for 2018, and the new hotness in the FP Journe Linesport collection, it's the Centigraphe Sport CTS2, bright yellow dial. Mitch, thanks again. Wear it in great health. FP Journe Linesport Centigraphe Sport, yellow by day, blue by night.